Hello, everyone. My name is Jenny Birak, and I wanted to say welcome to all of my new subscribers. I want to thank everyone who has left kind comments and just sharing with me a little bit about themselves. I really appreciate that. I'm not able to always respond. I respond when I can. And I just really have appreciated all of the encouragement, especially for the video, The End of Corruption. I had quite a few comments that I've had to make sure were deleted, and some people blocked, but not that many really. So I just wanted to tell everybody thank you for that, and for all of the shares and the likes. I really do appreciate it. And I wish I had time to address everything. I really like it when people share. You know, somebody had shared a few days ago, when things were going on with the stock market in reference to things that I had spoken about. And I appreciate that, because I don't, during the day, I'm usually in sessions and I'm not alerted to what's happening in the news. So I was like, oh, wow, that's really, something. But anyway, so today I was going to talk about what's going on in the sky. We talked so much about Scorpio, but I just wanted to show you guys. Okay. So if you look at Scorpio, she's got the little tail. I don't know. It's tough to say with Scorpio. But she's got, Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter all there. The sun in Libra is answering to Venus, who is in Scorpio. And then the ruler's right in the way of the light. Of course. The ruler, Pluto, up at the top there, is in Capricorn. So it's too hard. You guys, somebody suggested doing this in one of the comments, but I don't know. I'm going to have to figure out a different way to hold the camera. Okay, so the point is that Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, and the sun, because the sun's answering to Venus, they're all answering to Pluto in Capricorn, okay? The moon today is in Sagittarius, so I'm going to throw her in because she's answering to Jupiter in Scorpio, who's answering to Pluto in Capricorn. Mars in Aquarius. Mars is the ancient ruler of Scorpio. Mars is answering to Uranus, and then the ancient ruler of Aquarius is Saturn, okay? And Uranus in Taurus is answering to Venus, who is in Scorpio, who is answering to Pluto. Chiron in Aries is answering to Mars, the ancient ruler of Scorpio, but he's answering to Uranus and Taurus, answering to Venus, who is answering to Pluto. In other words, all of the planets, except for Neptune. Neptune is hanging out in Pisces in his own territory, okay? But everybody else is linked back to Pluto and Capricorn. And who are they all answering to? Ultimately, Saturn, the Lord of Karma, the guy who, the one who sets it all straight. So Saturn a lot of times is referred to as the gatekeeper, okay? Because Saturn is like the obstacle, the restriction, that we butt up against, that, when we're not ready to go forwards, because Saturn doesn't feel like the foundation is there. Saturn isn't like a bad guy. He's the great teacher. And Metatron refers to himself with me. He did. And I know I heard Amanda say it before. Amanda Ellis, that he is he is her gatekeeper. He told me that back in 2015. So I do think that there's a lot of a lot of that. Saturn is like here to teach us how to master something, how to like overcome and then have that firm foundation and build something, to build whatever it is that we want. And he rewards us. When you're having a Saturn return, I had all 3 of my children during my Saturn return. It's not always like something terrible is going on because you're having a Saturn return or because you're having a Saturn transit. Saturn helps, bring you a lot of benefits and gifts and blessings. It's the judgment card in the way that, what you reap, as you reap, so wait, is it? I used to know every verse of the Bible at one point. The King James version. As you sow, so shall you reap. What goes around comes around, like the seeds that you planted, the way that they come to fruition, how everything that you've been manifesting, that you've been working toward coming to manifestation, that's Saturn too. Saturn isn't only restriction. He also helps you to build it. They will come. When you build it, they will come. He's the guy that's giving you the tools to help you to build what it is that you came here to build. Okay. And then we have Neptune in Pisces, encouraging us to dream. And Saturn is helping us get all of our ducks in a row in order to bring that dream into reality. Saturn is reality. And a lot of times Saturn, when we do get those harsh lessons, it's because that's what we think of ourselves. For some reason, we've dealt ourselves some serious blows. I know that was true for myself. I know that's true for a lot of my clients too, that we chose to learn lessons in a harsh way. And that's not ever anything outside of ourselves. That's our own stuff and what our own worthiness things, that why we thought we needed lessons to come to us in that manner. But all of this, everything that's going on in Scorpio relates back to Pluto and Capricorn, okay? And that's like transforming power, transforming how you see yourself. Are you the authority? Are you the one that you're answering to ultimately? Do you feel like you're answering to something outside of yourself? A lot of times people want to know, what am I supposed to do? Why aren't the angels telling me what it is that I'm supposed to do? I'm waiting to find out what I'm supposed to do. They're waiting for you to say, this is what I want to do. Guide me to that end. They will help you along your path, and they guide us, and they like leave breadcrumbs for us to follow. But it's really what they would like each of us to do, is to follow our passion. Whatever it is that you're passionate about, that's what you came here to do. Dream that big dream. And the Saturn helps us bring it all. Ultimately, it's Saturn that helps us build it, okay? And make that dream a reality. Saturn is reality. So when we're talking about everything that's happening now with the Venus retrograde, all of the planets in Scorpio, getting to the truth and the heart of the matter, looking at the shadow, getting into the deep psychological reasons why we're stuck where we're stuck. That's also, when you're talking about Pluto or Saturn too, that can also have a lot to do with us being resistant and, fear is what he's saying, because those are lower energies of those two guys too. Pluto is powerful, but what's the opposite of that? When we feel like we have no power, when we're powerless. A lot of times when people have Pluto retrograde or squared by yada yada, I can go on and on about all of the different placements for Pluto that point to being powerless. Pluto in the 12th house, Pluto conjunct the South Node. There's a lot of ways that you can find the powerless aspects for Pluto, but mostly it's because we think that there's something more powerful outside of ourselves. And Neptune also can keep it like shrouded in secrecy, like how big your light actually is, or the difference that you could really make. Saturn is about confidence too. So we could have confidence issues coming up. lack of confidence, or just fear of, what are they really going to think of me? I don't think I'm good enough to do this. I don't think I'm capable of doing this. All of that stuff is coming up for everybody right now. This is intense energy, and with Saturn, it's never light, okay? It's heavy energy. So I asked Metatron, what exactly I would talk about in relation to all of this, and he had me pull some cards. I pulled the cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed, okay? And I've said before in videos, I don't shuffle on camera because I cannot shuffle. I was raised in the Assemblies of God. We did not play cards. And I just never learned. I never picked it up. There are a lot of things I can do that you'd be surprised to find out what I can do, but shuffling's not one of them. Okay, so the first card is Observer. Okay. These are great cards too. The essential meanings is perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. Most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences, so much so that they come to believe that these are the only reality. There are times when you need distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your life. This is a perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to understand about the conditions, people, culture, and environment you're engaged with now. You'll be so happy you did. Illumination is the miracle you seek and will indeed find. So I was going to address this in reference to some of the comments that I got. A lot of people who maybe didn't agree with what I said, which is fine, that doesn't bother me, but they had misquoted things that I had said, or they had completely heard things that I didn't say in the video. And I'm talking about the video, The End of Corruption. And it just really, I was just like, how did they hear that? Because I didn't say anything like that. It's because they're hearing through what they think I'm going to say, because they feel like I have a different opinion. And so they have already got it, what I'm going to say and what my opinion is. And the idea of what is coming across is what they're hearing. They think that I'm saying those things. And I didn't say anything like that, And when I took the time to respond to people, I even had emails. I would say, I didn't say that. I said, and then I would say what I said. And then the person would be like, oh, okay. So we still had a difference of opinion, but we were able to have a civil exchange. Imagine that. If you can just listen to the other person and just, whatever ideology you're coming from, if you can just listen to the other side of it, I think that it's true that people can be demeaning to others who disagree, because to one person it might seem very obvious that something is complete nonsense, but to that other person it doesn't seem like that. And if you can just listen to what their opinion is and hear why they believe what they did, it always comes from fear. It's always from fear. And if you can have some compassion and understand where people are coming from, the world would be such a sunnier place, if we just take a minute to listen and to understand, and to just not be so attached to all of these people who we don't really know. They're just in the news. They're just, we know like their public persona, but we don't know them personally. Like, why be so attached either way that someone's either a hero or a villain? And that's another thing. When you're when you're judging anyone, I don't care what, in the public arena or personally, when you're saying things, negative things about someone else or having those thoughts, you're putting that into your energy. It doesn't just go, into the other person's energy. It's coming into your energy. It will hurt you. That's why like people wonder why they go through Facebook feed for a while and they start feeling like crap because they're like, oh, they're taking all of that into their energy, or, the horrible things that you're putting on other people. Yeah, the curses is what he's saying. Like it's actually coming into your energy when you're cursing at other people or, oh, I hope this happens to them. That's all going into your energy. So it's just a better idea. Just don't watch it or just neutralize have it be neutralized toward it. This is the time when we're detaching from the identities of what country. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't, love the country that you're from, but being so attached to it, at our essence, we're energies of unconditional love. We're all human beings. We all decided to share the planet at the same time. Other people are not our enemies. They have differences of opinion and they're living their role too. It's just like having respect for others and like seeing things from an outside perspective and not taking it so personally, not being so attached to public figures or like making someone else into this, prince or savior. That's not the case. And it's, we all need to just take a breath and step back. It's just no more of this constant bickering and not listening to another person. And it was great when I did have those exchanges with people and then they understood my point of view. They were like, oh, okay. Thanks for responding. Yeah, a civil exchange. So yeah, I think that was part of what he was, because I kept disabling the comments and they wouldn't disable. So I had to constantly go on. And I'm like, I told Amanda, because I was like, I can't get the comments to disable. And I said, I'm pretty sure that there's a reason that, I need to be reading these comments. So the next card is Imagine. I'm not singing, but you know what I'm hearing in my head right now, don't you? John Lennon. Metatron likes the Beatles. Okay. Turning imagination into manifestation, creative thought, visualization, the power of aligning imaginary imagery and feelings, creativity, illusions. Who do you want to be? What do you need to believe in order to have the life you want? You are gifted with the power to imagine. If you can dream it, you can create it. So here's where we're getting back to that Neptune. All year, Neptune and Jupiter were in an energy known as a trine. So when one planet is in an element, so they're in the element of water, then they trine the other water signs. So they're pretty, Jupiter's moved away from Neptune now, but we're still in that energy. He's still talking about like instant manifestation, how quickly you can manifest what it is that you want, how quickly you can call in the power of divine to bring your dreams to fruition. This is the plan. This is where I'm pointing my arrow. This is what I want to go, what I want to do, where I want to go. Get me there, right? The power of intentional thought is what he's saying. It's just intentional thought. And then staying focused on that and then asking for help. If you're so inclined, asking for help from the universe to bring those manifestations to fruition, to help you make the practical steps to getting there. I was telling a story the other day about one of my son's friends. So she's like 22 and she was applying to a university. She was planning to apply to a university and she said, "Can you look now and tell me, am I going there this fall?" This was last summer. And I looked and I saw absolutely nothing. And I said, "Did you apply yet?" And she's like, "Well, no." And I said, "Well, I can't see what's going to happen if you haven't taken the first step, because that's the way it works. We have to put our toe out. We have to like take a step, just take one step. And then the universe will rise up to meet you. And it really does happen that way. It really can miraculously just, overnight happen like that. But we have to make the first step. We have to like take use practical measures, he's saying, to bring that dream into fruition. And then he's reminding me, when you're in meditation time, see yourself where you want to be. Maybe don't see a particular person unless you're with someone now, that's different. But don't see yourself with any one person in particular, but see the relationship that you would like to have. Like, see yourself in a relationship of equality where you're sharing time with the person. Maybe they're doing the dishes with you. See all of that kind of stuff. Notice like how you feel when you get into your car, because you're in a safe, reliable car. See yourself in the house that you want to live in. All of those things matter, okay? Because that's sending that message out to the universe. We're always creating with our thoughts. It's just like quantum physics. As we speak, we create, okay? As we think, thoughts are energy, and those are going out into the universe. That's why a lot of times, throughout the day, I'll yell, cancel. Because I just had a thought about something that I don't want to happen, because it's energy, okay? And so when you're telling yourself a story about the future, make it a good story and really spend time in meditation, seeing your life the way that you would like it to unfold. And then take a little step toward it and just see what happens, okay? Because this year too, the year of the master, make or break, do or die. Point your arrow, okay? When all of those planets went through retrograde, like this year has just been like, wow. It's like a reset. And now we're going into, he's saying, unmapped territory, Oh, and yeah, that's what another point he wants me to make. I heard, well, maybe I won't. I heard someone talking about like how, you can't just create your own reality. You have to like something, and really the person's created a pretty awesome reality for himself. So I thought that was kind of crappy, but no, that's not, you do create your own reality. Things come in divine timing too. So divine timing is part of it, yes, but you are creating your own reality. Okay. That's from a thought, like probably just a subconscious thought, still embedded in people, in your DNA, me too, where God's already decided everything and you don't have any choices and things are just the way they're going to be. There are some astrology teachings that say the same thing, that you can't do anything, that this is the chart you were given and now you just have to make the best of it. But that's just not the case, okay? We are always creating our own reality. And he's saying to believe in infinite possibilities, that there are limitless options for your life, and that nothing is too big to dream right now this year, like the energies for this year. And Saturn will help you bring that to fruition, okay? You might have to, scrap the old foundation because it doesn't serve you, and there's nothing that you can use with that foundation. It's not a sturdy one you're going to be able to build on. So you might have to start the foundation all over from scratch. But and that's the tower too, that Pluto and Capricorn, Pluto Saturn stuff happening in Capricorn, that's the energy of the tower. Because don't forget that Saturn's having this conversation with Uranus, his dad. Uranus was his dad. But they're unleashing us, is what Metatron has said in reference to that energy, unleashing us from what's holding us back and what's restricting us in order to go forward with the new foundation. Okay, so I know like a lot of people I know actually have lost jobs, and it's because it's time to shift into the next chapter. It'll be a better chapter. I said to one of my clients, she's getting ready to move, and I said the next place you live will be your favorite place to live. And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah, just put it out there, because she's not really sure where she's going to end up being transferred. But you know what I'm saying? Like, don't don't limit yourself, and don't think if you have like responsibilities to other people. Okay, let's say your children, then just say, universe, this is what I need. I need this to happen for my children. I need, this to line up for me, and I need this to line up in order to make this one thing happen. Okay, for me, again, he wanted me to talk about, I have a daughter. I've shared that I have a daughter with special needs, and she needs 24/7 care. She's at school, and she has an aftercare program that she goes to too. So during the day, it's fine. But then in the evenings and on weekends, I needed, extra help because I'm really busy with sessions now. And I have someone. I said, okay, this is what I'd like. And what do you know? So that's the way that it happens. The universe everything will just line up for you. And I have Saturn retrograde just 5 degrees after my ascendant. Okay, so I know the hurdle that Saturn can be. But, once you have the foundation there, Saturn will bring you everything that you need in order to build what it is that you're trying to build too. So, okay. And then message in a bottle. Okay, so this is another one that I talk to clients about all the time. A lot of times people say, I can't hear my angels. I try to talk to my angels and I'm not hearing them. Really, that's doubt in the way. And I know that it sounds silly and you're like, I really can't hear them. Sometimes we're trying so hard that we're like blocking it out. And I'm not saying, obviously there are times that we can block stuff out like that if we want to. But, free will overrides everything. So when you say, okay, Creator, I'm ready to hear what the divine would like to say to me, you will start hearing. Now, I tell clients, and this is just, and this is actually something that my teacher taught me. When you're in meditation, if you once, go 10 days or a week with the same energy and say, I'd like to have the Holy Spirit come, or Metatron, whichever you're comfortable with. Or do both so that you can see it's the same energy. In my energy, I like to have the Holy Spirit, have Archangel Michael, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Jesus come into, one at a time, come into your space so that you can feel their energy, okay? So that you become familiar with their energy and then you're able to recognize it. And usually it's thoughts that you have, like when you're asking a question. I shared in another video that, when I used to sit up at night talking to Metatron, it was usually when I would be having like a conversation in my head and then he would say something funny. And that's when I knew that he was there talking to me. So, and they're pretty funny and they always are like, lighten up. Like they want us to enjoy being here. They want this to be about like an adventure that we chose to have, not drudgery, not like a lifetime that we have to get through. They want us to have fun and to enjoy it. And they're there to help us and to assist us anytime. Your angels are standing around with nothing to do. If you're not asking them to help you, they got nothing else going on. Okay, they're bored. Do it for their sake. Ask for help just so that they have something to do. So, yeah. And then recognizing signs, like when you do ask, okay, I'd like divine guidance. When you start seeing numbers that repeat, okay, what I did was I would say, okay, I'm going to look at things on this. I think I did, well, I don't want to say the website. It was a numerology website, but I always look things up on that site. So then they knew. So then, I knew when I get those numbers, I look at this site and I'll know what it means. Or when I would see animals, I looked on the site, like I would Google like shamanic meaning of, I don't know, I saw a skunk the other night. So that's what I would do to look at that. The universe, once you realize that the universe is talking to you, it's everywhere. Then you can't stop seeing it. But, if you're going around saying my angels don't talk to me, I can't hear my angels, the universe doesn't speak to me, you're not going to be recognizing it because you're creating that. You're creating it just by saying it. You're blocking it out, okay? But once you recognize and you're open to the signs, they're everywhere. I was just like, wow, I can't believe that all of this has been going on around me all the time, and I had no idea that it was happening. So recognizing signs and wonders, that's a huge thing. And it also helps you to feel like you're not alone, you know? There's a lot of heavy stuff going on right now, and people are really going through it, and we need to feel like we're supported. You know, that Saturn's about support too. So that's another thing that I do every day is say, Creator, thank you that I'm connected to all that is and supported by all that is through the energy of unconditional love, that I have universal support coming to me through the energy of unconditional love. And seeing yourself like being supported by all of them, your ancestors, your team of lights, your higher self, like you're not alone. Okay. Okay. And then next we have Treasure Island. We got another 9. Okay. The law of attraction, bringing dreams into fruition. The results of positive thinking made manifest. Abundance appearing as if from nowhere. Financial gains and the sharing of good fortune. You've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance. And suddenly, in the midst of it all, you've hit the jackpot. You've uncovered the map to buried treasure and tapped the unlimited potential within you. What you must hone now is your ability to recognize when X marks the spot, because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may not be so readily apparent. Trust your intuition to light your way now as you enter this truly prosperous phase, where all the long, hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off externally. In all aspects of your life at this time, you have good fortune. Don't forget to enjoy it and share it with others, as treasure multiplies like magic. So, yeah, you know, when we're in that spot, like I said, when we, you know, I hear people all the time, my clients saying that, you know, they've been working at this for so long and they've been on this path for so long. When is it coming? When is it coming? When is it coming? And I really feel like this is it, judgment. You know, the judgment is good. Happy end. You know, everything's always good, right? But the judgment that's coming is a reward, okay, for hard work. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's a reward. Like while all of this is going on, and I've been saying all year, the energies are, like Metatron said at the beginning of the year, these are the energies that bring down kingdoms, meaning, you know, geopolitically and geophysically. But this is also a great, this Jupiter in Scorpio with answering to Pluto and Capricorn, that's like the watering of the seed, okay? That's like watering the seed with the magical blessings of Jupiter. So whatever it is that you want to plant it, okay? There's never a bad time to do that. You don't have to wait until the next new moon rolls around. You can plant a seed at any time. Or, you know, if you want to just see yourself putting that a seed of thought, if it's something that you want to create, like I was talking about, imagining what you want your life to be. And then if you can see that being bubbled up and then plant it into the ground so the universe can water it and take care of it. And when it's ready, it will bloom and blossom. Okay. So, and this is also a time that I was looking at the cards and I was thinking how important it is for us to all be practicing just doing things for the sake of having fun right now. And then I pulled this card, which is about doing things for the sake of just having fun. Like just have meaningless fun. You know, this is like a lot of deep, dark Scorpio, heavy Saturn. We need joy. We've got to balance that out with some joy, okay? Turn off the TV or turn on Netflix, okay? But turn off the news, or what we call news in this country. Turn off the networks that call themselves news and, you know, have a dose of fun, all right? shut off all that stuff that's going on out there. It's going to go on whether or not you're paying attention to it. You know, whoever's going to end up on the Supreme Court is going to end up on the Supreme Court. And that was another, I think, just a huge distraction. But, you know, I think that probably a lot of stuff is going to go down in relation to him being on the Supreme Court, which is why he's there. And I'm not saying one way or another because I'm not going to get caught up in that whole thing. And I don't, you know, I'm just going to say that I think that that he's there. I'm not going to say. I think that, you know, all of these things that come up that rile us up and make us hate the other side, and, you know, everybody getting involved in all of that. And it's just like they were saying on the End of Corruption video, it's the distractions. Those are distractions. You know, that fight that's going to happen with the case that has a lot to do with women, I think is going to happen. And I think that somebody was going to get in there that was going to make that all come up, you know, for women. And don't get caught up in all of that stuff because it doesn't matter. It just doesn't. You know, it isn't about the politicians. It's the system. The politicians they're all, you know, it's like if you find somebody who really from the heart wants to make a difference, at some point he's not going to be able to pay to get elected unless he takes bribes from lobbyists. That's the way the system's set up. It's nothing to do with one person or another person. And being attached to all of these different people, like this is such a good guy and this is such a good guy, it's just nonsense. So, yeah, I also wanted to say that I never said in that video that the United States is going to end. The USSR came to, you know, an end, I guess you could say. What was that, the 80s? And now Russia's fine. So I don't think that the country is going to end. I think that there's just going to be a lot of changes in our values. It's the Pluto in the second house. That's where the return is. And our second house of values and, you know, money going to the wrong places and all of our tax money being directed toward war and weapons and finding reasons to go to war. But I did not say that the country was going to end, and I can't remember. I'm not going to address anything else specifically that was in the comments, but I do really appreciate all of the positive comments. I just wanted to make this video to encourage everybody because I know that the energies are really heavy right now. And just to, you know, stay the course. Really try to do something that brings you joy, whatever that may be. You know, hang out with a friend, get on the phone and talk to somebody if you can't get out of the house. Just do something to take your mind off all of the ick that's happening around us, right? We're holding the vibration of joy and of light. And talk to your angels. They're waiting for orders or requests. I'm going to say requests. Yeah, so... Anyway, everybody, I'm going to have a twin flame video coming up here. It just didn't seem like the day to do it, but there's a big message related to Chiron for twin flames that I'm going to make a video about in the next few days. So hang in there, everybody. We're going to get through this, okay? When Jupiter moves into Sagittarius, I really think we're going to feel... It's in the end degrees of Scorpio, which are the more intense degrees. Scorpio is an extreme sign. And, you know, it's just a lot of heavy stuff that we're getting through. We're wading through it. But Jupiter goes in there November 9th. So, all right, everybody, take care.